There is a night in Hindu mythology that has confused scholars, offended purists, and captivated poets for thousands of years. It is a night when Krishna, a teenage boy, stood in a moonlit forest on the banks of the Yamuna and played his flute. And every woman in the village left her home and came to him. Married women, young women, old women, mothers, daughters, wives. They left their sleeping husbands, their crying children, their cooking fires, and they ran barefoot through the dark forest toward the sound of that flute. And when they arrived, Krishna danced with all of them, simultaneously. This is the Ras Leela. And if you think this is just an ancient story about infidelity and seduction, you have not even scratched the surface of what is happening here. Let us actually unpack this. The Bhagavata Purana, which is the primary text that describes the Ras Leela, goes out of its way to address the obvious objection. These are married women. They are leaving their husbands. Is this not adultery? Is this not immoral? The text's answer is shocking in its directness. It says that the gopis' love for Krishna transcends all social bonds. Their devotion to the divine is not bound by the rules of dharma that govern ordinary relationships, because their relationship with Krishna is not ordinary. It is not human love. It is not romantic attachment. It is the soul recognizing its source and being unable to resist the pull. The Ras Leela is not a story about romance. It is about the irresistible gravitational force of the divine on the human soul. When Krishna plays his flute, the sound is not just music. It is the call of the Paramatma, the supreme soul, reaching out to the individual Atma, the individual soul. And when the soul hears that call, nothing else matters. Not society, not obligation, not fear of judgment. The soul runs toward its source the way water runs downhill, not because it decides to, because it cannot do anything else. But here is where it gets really interesting. When the gopis arrive and begin dancing with Krishna, something curious happens. Each gopi believes that Krishna is dancing with her alone, that she is the special one, that his eyes are only on her. And she becomes proud. She thinks, I must be the most beautiful. I must be the most devoted. He chose me above all others. And the moment that pride enters her heart, Krishna vanishes. He disappears from her side, gone. The gopis are devastated. They wander through the forest calling his name, weeping, asking the trees and the flowers if they have seen him. They ask the earth. They ask the wind. They become half mad with longing. And this period of separation, called viraha, is described in the Bhagavata Purana as the highest form of devotion, higher even than being with God. Because when you are with God, there is joy. But when God is absent and you ache for his presence, that aching itself is the purest form of love. It is love without any reward, love without any payoff, love that exists purely as yearning, as flame without fuel, burning by its own nature. When Krishna finally returns, the gopis have been transformed. The pride is gone. The sense of specialness is gone. They no longer care about being chosen. They only care about him. And this time, when the dance begins again, it is different. Krishna multiplies himself. He creates a form for each gopi so that each one is dancing with her own Krishna. There are as many Krishnas as there are gopis, each one held, each one seen, each one loved completely and individually. And the dance that follows is described as the most beautiful event in the history of the cosmos. The gods stop what they are doing and watch. The stars lean closer. The Yamuna stops flowing to listen. Time itself pauses. Now here is what this means philosophically. The multiplication of Krishna is not just a miracle. It is a statement about the nature of divine love. Human love is zero-sum. If I love you more, I must love someone else less. There is only so much of me to go around. But divine love is infinite. It multiplies without diminishing. Each gopi receives all of Krishna, not a fraction, not a share, all of him. This is the fundamental difference between human attachment and divine love. Human attachment says, "You are mine." Divine love says, "I am yours." Entirely, without reservation, without competing claims. Now one more layer. The Ras Leela takes place at night, in a forest, under the full moon. Every one of these details is symbolic. Night represents the darkness of ignorance. The forest represents the wild, untamed nature of the soul's journey. The full moon represents the guru, or the divine light that illuminates the darkness. And the dance represents the union of the individual soul with the supreme soul. It is not a physical event, it is a metaphysical one. It is the moment when the boundary between you and God dissolves, and you realize that you were never separate, that the yearning itself was God pulling you home. The Ras Leela is not about 16,000 women dancing with a boy. It is about 16,000 souls remembering that they were always, already, eternally loved. And the flute? The flute is hollow, empty. It has no sound of its own. It only makes music when the divine breath passes through it. That is you. That is all of us. Hollow reeds, waiting for the breath of the divine to pass through us and turn our emptiness into the most beautiful sound the universe has ever heard.